I know everybody's already talked about this and already moved on from this, but I'm not gonna lie. Since I actually saw this title, I really didn't want to talk about it, but of course, didn't have time. But now that I do, I want to give my 2 cents about this. This belt shouldn't even be in existence. They've already set up a storyline to where Roman Reigns should have lost his titles, and the title should have been split up. The title should have ended. The Universal Championship should have been no more. Because they've already booked themselves in the corner by giving it to a part-timer in the first place. They should have ended it the way they should have ended it. And I've already said that in my previous video, so I'm not going to go further about that. But I will say that having another title means you have to bring worth and a legacy to it. And you have to find the right person to do it. From what I'm hearing, Seth Rollins is the highest candidate to be the first keeper of that title. Do I believe that he can bring some worth and possibly a legacy to it? Of course. He's Seth freaking Rollins. And honestly, let's be real here. Seth actually did beat Roman. Nobody's talking about that, are they? The fact that he beat him at the Royal Rumble, even though it was a DQ, he still won. Which shows that Roman is not untouchable. Which shows that Roman is not dominant. But either or. The thing is, Seth has more worth that he can bring to that title than anybody that I can think of. Yeah, people like that Cody should get it. But everything that Cody did to get to that point at WrestleMania would seem cheap if he takes that title now. A lot of people want him to end the reign of Roman Reigns. But here's the thing. Roman's on SmackDown. Cody's on Raw. The draft kind of ruined things. And there's no way that they're going to bring this back. It's dead. More than likely, they're going to have him feud with Seth. And rekindle that feud with Seth. And to be honest with you, I hope not. Because he made Seth look like a joke. But I digress. This title is ugly. I absolutely hate it. I hate the design. Even though it's paying homage to the big gold buckle, I still hate it. Does it look similar to AEW's design? In a way, in my opinion, yeah, it kind of does. But this title means that you have a plethora of titles that you have to you got to give worth to it. You have a World Heavyweight Championship belt. This is the new main belt of Raw. You can't have anybody else in SmackDown having it. You can't make them eligible. And from what I'm hearing, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, I could be totally wrong. And if I am, leave it in the comments. Roman Reigns has an opportunity to take that belt. I hope not. I hope not. Keep him out of it. Keep SmackDown out of it. This is Raw. Raw has been suffering enough without a main belt. Do I think that this is a good thing? It is, because I'm not going to lie. I've complained a lot about Raw not having a main belt. And even though I'm happy that the mid-card championships got a lot more love, it's just, it shouldn't be in that way. You should have a main belt that brings out more worth to your brand than not having one. And I'm not gonna lie, I complained about them not having a main title. So this is a good thing for Raw. But how it was done, how it was executed, is the thing that burns me up a little bit. Not so much burns me up, but irritates me. Because how they set up WrestleMania to have Roman lose and to have the Universal title split. It was set up that way. No one can tell me different. It was changed at the last minute, and I've made a rant towards the Club Atlantis crew about this whole thing. And my own personal theory, well, hypothesis, if you will, I believe that Fox did not want that belt to be split. Because of the name alone and who was holding it. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, let's be honest, it's just the Bloodline, made that belt the hottest thing on the planet. Made the idea of the Universal Championship the hottest thing on the planet. Even though it hasn't merged, it got no design, it's just 2 belts you're holding. The idea of it, they want to keep it. I would not be surprised if Fox was behind this. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a business move, because it usually is. Now, I'm not saying that businesses spoil things. I don't believe that all the time. But in this case, it did. It ruined whatever story there was because they had to make the money makers happy. And it's sad. It really is. It ruined whatever momentous moment could have happened at WrestleMania at night 2. It could have been a momentous, joyous occasion that everybody would remember. It would have made that WrestleMania more legendary than WrestleMania 30. It would have surpassed it. But it didn't. And I think it's just because of the whole business aspect of it. That's just my own personal opinion on that. That's my own personal theory, hypothesis on that. Now, having this belt here is a good thing for Raw because Raw needs to have a main belt. But does it feel like a consolation prize? Yes, it does. It really, really does. Well, you can't be Roman Reigns, so here's a brand new title for you. It cheapens it. It doesn't bring much worth. The only way that you can bring much worth is having a person of worth holding it. That's why I think they're probably going to give it to Seth. Now, are they going to rekindle the feud between Cody and Seth? They just might. They just might. But having a brand new title, it's just a part of it. A part of me feels like it's a good thing, and then the other half, it just puts a sour taste in my mouth because of how it was done. I wish it was done better. I really wish it was, because adding another title means that you have to add a legacy and you have to add worth to it. How they're going to do it, I don't know. I don't know. But this just doesn't feel right, but then it also is right. It's just, I'm kind of conflicted about it after sitting down and thinking about it a little bit more. I'm not going to lie, I was going to straight up do a video immediately when I saw it, and I was like, no, I'm going to rant. But I'm glad I sat on it for a little bit. Because if you think of the business end of it, your title, your entire brand needs a main belt. It needs it. The design is, I'm not going to say it's lazy. It's not. Is it ambitious? Oh, yes. It's very ambitious. But I don't like it. But the thing is, it looks like a main title. Even though I hate the design, it looks like a main title. I still wish it wasn't in existence, though. I still wish the Universal title was split. It made more sense. It would have gave a fitting end to the story. It would have gave a fitting end to the characters involved. But that's just how it is, and you just gotta learn to deal with it. Now that we have a main belt, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the title of Night of Champions? In my opinion, it should be Seth. Cody, I don't think it should be him. The reason why is because Cody Rhodes was in the storyline with Roman Reigns that had a lot of worth to it, that had a lot of weight to it. And with him taking that belt, it just seems cheap. It just seems cheap. It looks cheap. I think he needs to chase it for a while. Seth Rollins, with how popular he is, with how over he is, even as a heel, I think he needs to have it. And it's not because I think that Seth has a lot more worth than Cody. Despite my feelings towards Cody's character, I still think that Cody has a lot more to prove in WWE. Yeah, in AEW, sure, he had his moments. But now he's back in the brand that shunned him. Let's see how far he goes. Seth Rollins has already been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I want to see Seth and see what he can do with that title. Just like how Gunther brought some worth to the IC title, I think that Seth can do the exact same thing to this. But do I think the belt is beneath him? It is. But Seth Rollins' name alone can bring worth to that title. And that's what that title needs. Especially now. So I'm all for Seth winning at Night of Champions. I think he could bring a lot of worth to that title. Do I really wish the title existed? No. I wish that the Universal title split up. I really wish that the old belt went back to Raw and the Blue Universal Championship went back to SmackDown. But not everybody can get their way. But let's see where it goes from here with this new belt. I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this. How do you feel about this title? Do you like the design? What do you think about the title being in existence? And do you think that Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes would actually be a good holder for it. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. But the one thing I'm definitely going to say is keep everybody from SmackDown out, and please keep Roman away from this championship.